guns and over 200 rounds of ammunition. Police also recovered extensive literature on terror, which they have now taken as part of their investigations.
Outgoing Coast Police boss Agri Adoli said the suspect opened fire when he realized he was cornered, at one point using a child as a shield. Omolo had been on the terror watch list and only returned into the country recently.
Now, it is not clear if he was behind last week's grenade attack in Likoni area at a crusade in which 14 people were injured.
7.62. Sasa tufunge video mzigo.
Ndio wa kwanza tukakaa hivi kidogo kama 15 minutes. Tukasikia milio mingine sasa ya risasi. Lakini tulikuwa kwa mix, sijui kama ni risasi, nilikuwa nasikia kama kwanza ni mlipuko umelipuka, labda ni moto. Nikifungua mlango, nikitoka nje, nikiangalia ngapata mlango wa main gate uko wazi, nikarudi juu. Nikirudi zangu ndani ndo nasikia tena milio mingine ya risasi. Nikitaka kufungua mlango ngasikia funga mlango na ukae ndani.
The Kenya National Union of Teachers now says it is awaiting a decision from its top organ, the National Executive Council, on whether or not to call a strike.
The union has asked teachers to carry on with their duties in the meantime. Remember that the union just last week threatened to call a strike after the government failed to allocate funds in the budget to cater for recruitment and promotion of teachers, as well as payment of allowances.
Already, the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Teachers has issued a strike notice which expires tomorrow. Deputy President William Ruto is today expected to meet officials of the KNUT and KUPPET in an effort to ward off the strike.
By experience as teachers, we know all governments are the same. They never listen. They never. They wait for crisis. Firefighting. And if that is what they need, definitely will give them in style. And for us, we'll always be very specific with what we would want to do, and we do it in the most orderly manner.
Road users along the Nakuru-Eldama Ravine Road are calling on the Nakuru Municipal Council to immediately clear garbage heaps on the busy road. Heaps of garbage from the town's dump site have overflowed into the road following heavy rains in the area last night. Now, a section of the road has completely been covered by the garbage heaps. Residents and motorists blame the Municipal Council, which they say has neglected the dump site, letting garbage heaps unattended. They say the municipal lorries that collect the garbage most times dump the waste on the edge of the dump site. Residents now say if not dealt with this, it may further affect the Lake Nakuru.
Mimi mwenyewe nimeenda mahakamani nikipetition mahakama hili iweze kukata kahuri ili huu uchafu ondolewa hapa, ama kama hautaondolewa hapa, at least njia mwafaka ipatikane jinsi ya kuregulate huu uchafu kutoka hapa.
From Nakuru, let's go to Buruburu, where Cabinet Secretary for Land, Housing and Urban Development, Charity Ngilu, says the controversial land said to be owned by the NCCK in Buruburu is a government property. Speaking at Buruburu, where she was accompanied by Nairobi Senator Mike Mbuvi Sonko, Nairobi Women Representative Rachel Shebesh, and Area Member of Parliament Ngilu assured residents who are there that from the move from the controversial land that they soon will be allowed to access the land to continue with their businesses. She confirmed that the NCCK was only a trustee and has never owned the land. She also said the government is not aware of any plans to establish a private farm on the piece of land. Ngilu said she will ensure grabbed public lands are repossessed to benefit the public.
Tutamaliza jua kali business Nairobi kwa sababu tunataka kujenga malls na supermarkets. Hiyo tunakataa.
Hata nyinyi kama squatters inawapatia nguvu ya kuwa na kiwanja ya serikali mahali yote ile, bora umekaa zaidi ya miaka 12.
I realize this plot does not belong
to NCCK, and therefore they cannot sell what does not belong to them. For that reason, mimi nitarudi ofisini kesho kwa sababu niliambiwa asubuhi ya leo niangalie nione mapu ya hii plot yenu, na mimi nashangaa sana ya kuwa kabla watu hawajafanya uhalifu kama huu walifanya, hawakwenda kwa serikali wakaangalia.
Deputy President William Ruto is assuring the county governors that the Jubilee government is committed to devolution and that more funds will be channeled in the counties in the next financial year. He was speaking in Bomet County, and Ruto says that the Jubilee government had promised to devolve 40% of the national resources to the counties, and also promised that at least 40% of the national revenue will be devolved to the counties in the next financial year, and that's to improve the economy of the country. Bomet County Governor Isaac Ruto directly accused the Jubilee government of not living up to its pre-election promises.
We want the resources to do the job. We are ready to do it. The division of revenue, when we were doing budgeting, and we are supposed to do budgeting through public participation. Tulifanya public participation, and through public participation, tuliambia raia we are expecting 4.7 billion. The division of revenue iliondoa a whole 1 billion. That is 200 million per constituency. If I was to do tarmac road, I would have done 40 kilometers. So if you remove 40 kilometers, you don't expect me to tell you thank you very much. You will expect me to tell you where umekosea. Kwa hivyo wabunge, please go, when you go back there, please realize that when you make a decision, it affects these people.
Wale mlichaguliwa senators, wajumbe, kina mama, magavana, mimi nataka niwaambie tutafanya kazi pamoja na nyinyi. The Jubilee government is going to work with all elected leaders in a way that is going to benefit the people of our country.
Right, we just want to give you an update on on a story we had carried earlier on security concerns in Mombasa. A terror suspect was today shot in his home in Kisauni, and in his home was extensive literature on terror. This is according to police reports. 2 grenades, 2 guns, one of which was an AK-47 and another one a pistol, and over 200 rounds of ammunition. It is believed, according to police, that he was planning an attack both in Mombasa and in Nairobi, and here is Agri Adoli, the PPO for Coast, with an update on that.
Lakini katika harakati hiyo ya kwenda katika nyumba hiyo, huyu jamaa alikuwa mkali sana, na akatoa hii AK-47 aliweza kutumia kwa kupiga risasi 10, lakini hatimaye kwa sababu ilikuwa ni giza, maofficers wakitumia night vision yetu waliweza kumpata vizuri, na yeye mwenyewe akaweza kuuawa. Kwa hivyo kama pengine angepata nafasi ya kutumia hii marisasi yote, kama angekuwa wako wengi, ingekuwa angeleta maafa, lakini maofficers wetu hakuna yule aliumia.
Now, KTN will be giving you details of that developing story of the terror attack in Mombasa. Let's stay at the coastal city and now moving closer even to Malindi, where a businessman yesterday drowned in a swimming pool under unclear circumstances. The body of the businessman was found floating at the Coastal Paradise Hotel by workers. Now, according to the workers at the hotel, the body of the businessman was spotted floating in the swimming pool moments after he was spotted relaxing by the poolside. He had checked in at the hotel 3 days ago in the company of a woman believed to be his wife. The body was taken to the Malindi hospital mortuary by the police, who are also conducting investigations.
Hiki kitendo kimekuwa hapa, nilikuwa nimetoka nje kuchukua vitu, break after breakfast. Na kurudi sasa, niko na mtu ndani ya maji. Sasa no float. Ndio nikaja kuambia kupeleka habari kwa reception. Sio ndio kwenda pale kuangalia pale, ndio kupata jamaa shaisha. Ndio jaribu kumtoa at least kama sasa kumsaidia. Kupata budi amshamalizika. Ndio kapiga simu polisi. Daktari aje kuangalia akasema hapa hakuna mtu ashaga dunia.
The next story is an interesting one, and it takes us to Naivasha, where members of 2 communities have locked horns over the ownership of a herd of 8 cattle. It's not surprising, except they were recovered by the anti-stock theft unit after they went missing 3 years ago. They were recovered only a few days ago in a village in Narok County, where 5 suspects, including the widow of a KWS warden, have been arrested. Now, 3 parties from the 2 communities are claiming to be the real owners of the dairy cows. One man says he is certain 3 of the cows belong to him. Another says 2 of the cattle are his, while the third claims all 8 animals are his. Officials of the anti-stock theft unit are yet to determine the legitimate owner of the cows, which are still in their possession. Elsewhere, more than 600 students from Technology Development College in Ariver barricaded Namanga Road for hours this morning, protesting over the poor state of the Kitengela-Rongai bypass road that cuts across their institution. The rowdy students, carrying placards, barricaded the busy road with stones and even lit a bonfire on the road using tires. According to the students' chairman, Gilbert Monyo, the dusty road has adversely affected their studies, as the dust usually envelopes the school, adding that several students have been taken ill after inhaling the dust. He says no action has been taken so far, despite their plea to the relevant authorities to look into it. Regular police administration and Ariver prison wardens stood there for more than an hour to contain the students to try and clear the road.
Kwa darasa ukisoma hata ukinisikia vipi venye naongea saa hii nimeathiriwa sana na hii vumbi. Sasa hiyo ndio shida yenye iko. The school, the whole compound is very dirty.
All right, from rowdy students complaining about dust in their school to owners of
I'm interested about the lost cattle. I mean, it's been 3 years. How do you know which is which? It could be the...
I mean, I figured there must have been some branding of sorts, or maybe there isn't. That's why they're locking horns over the issue.
So 3 people claiming the same animals.
3 people claiming 8 cows.
What a way to start a Monday.
Right, we take a short commercial break. When we come back, we do have news from the international scene as well as sports news. You don't want to miss that.
Stay tuned.